to Chit Chat Gaming. My name is Mike Ray. Sorry, I'm messing with my computer here. My name is Mike Ray, and with me this week, once again, is Bryce Chapman.
Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you here. And today is a special edition. We are going to be discussing the Nintendo Direct from yesterday, which completely focused 100% on Pokemon. So, I was planning on going on YouTube Live here, but we couldn't get it up and going. So we'll still do the Facebook Live here in a little bit and answer some questions. So you guys will be able to see that at home on YouTube and, of course, on MPW Cable when it goes live next, or when it goes on air next week. But with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about this Pokemon Direct, Bryce. For me, I'm not a huge Pokemon fan. Obviously, my kids are, but I'm not a huge fan. So I play the games. I obviously got hooked on the Pokemon Go fad too. But as far as that goes, I'm not a huge Pokemon fan, and I was a little disappointed. That's just me. I know right now online everybody's kind of enraged because it's not what they wanted. So really quick, what is your thoughts? Let's take this topic by topic, but really quick, what was your general reaction to this?
I was surprised. Some of the things I saw coming, like Pokken Tournament, but I wouldn't say disappointed all the way, but surprised by a lot of things. I did want some more things, and they've got a treehouse coming up at E3, from what I understand, focusing on Pokemon. So I think they've still got that big surprise for us coming.
Yeah, and let's go ahead and just tear this thing apart as far as what they discussed yesterday. So right away they opened it up. It was a quick 8-minute direct, which is probably one of the fastest one I've ever seen. Yeah. But for what they needed it for, it was perfect timing. So they opened it up right away, and even though I'm not a huge Pokemon fan, I kind of expected what they were going to start off with, and it was the Pokken Tournament DX, which is the deluxe version for Switch.
I think I'd said something to you day before. I'm like, I bet you we see Pokken Tournament coming to the Switch.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of rumors and rumblings about that, but for me, I was kind of thinking that they were going to bring an adventure Pokemon game to the Switch. But then again, it's still early.
It is still early. I think we might get a teaser or something for that at E3, whether it be Pokemon Adventure, just a generic a Pokemon Adventure coming to the Switch 2018 at Flash, no real direction for us. Maybe we'll get that much wonder where is Pokemon Z on the Switch.
Yeah, and I've heard that talked about too. A lot of people requesting that.
The nice thing is, I'm finally getting what I want for Pokken Tournament. I see people in Cerebi always posting about what the arcade machine's getting in Japan, because Pokken runs out of an arcade in Japan a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And we don't have that luxury here in America yet. Hopefully someday we will. And so we're getting some of the characters that they have had access to that Nintendo has been withholding from us, unfortunately.
Right. And I know, they announced that they showed a really long extended trailer, which was very boring.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but
I mean, let's meet eyes. Hey, we're going to battle. I understand Pokken Tournament. You don't need to re-explain the concept to me.
Right. And there's a really long tournament, a very long commercial. They just could have narrowed it down to something simpler. But I understand they wanted to make this thing 8 minutes, and then they had a few topics. But they showed this trailer. Then at the end, they quickly did like a summary of what you've seen. And what we did see was that you're going to get your classic 16 characters that's in the original Pokken Tournament game for the Wii U.
Right.
Plus, you're getting 5 new characters.
Right.
You want to go ahead? I wrote them down here. I know you probably know them anyways, but...
Yep, Darkrai, Scizor, Empoleon, Krogunk, and Decidueye. I also think I've heard we're getting some of the other support characters along with that. I don't know if they said that in the video or if I just read that somewhere else.
I believe they said that in the video, I think. If not, it was probably read, but I believe they did say something in the video.
And then they did talk on the 3-on-3 with the online ranked matches. The friendly online matches, so that's Nintendo going, hey, you are going to be able to connect with your friends online.
Right.
It might be a pain. We haven't told you how it's going to work, but it's coming. And then they've got the group matches as well. And just, once again, taking my Switch, unfortunately I don't have mine with me, but I have my 3DS with me, and I take that everywhere, and I take my Switch, and just being able to walk up to that guy in the park that I see playing Pokken Tournament and have that battle like I've never been able to before, because you always got to walk up to that guy in the park that's playing on their 3DS going, oh, hey, he's playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
And you got to hope you don't look too weird. But Pokken Tournament, you catch somebody, you can have that impromptu battle we've all been wanting.
Right. I agree 100%. And then they like you said, the 3 versus 3, the ranked, which is another mode on there as well. This game is expected to drop on September 22nd,
Right.
which isn't far away.
Right. And I'm looking forward to handheld mode, but one of my favorite things that came out from the announcement when Nintendo dropped the Nintendo Switch very formally on us back in January, I think, was the Joy-Con and their whole big deal about, can I borrow your Switch, please?
Oh, absolutely.
I've got to do this. Taking your Nintendo Switch, putting it down, popping your Joy-Cons off, not quite as smooth yet, but sharing the joy with your friend and being able to play with your Joy-Cons, because once again, these fully function as controllers, which is amazing.
I played Mario Kart the other day at work with just one of these, and it worked just fine.
And, you know, I find these, a lot of people thought they were going to be too small. You know, they're a little small as long as I'm not putting 8 hours in it.
Right.
But if I'm casually playing with a friend for an hour or something, or at work or on a break, wonderful.
Right, absolutely.
So Nintendo got the idea of sharing the joy, and every time I pop them off, I make somebody happy because they, one, get to play the Switch, and two, they go, this is so cute and small.
And then, so September 22nd is the date of Pokken Tournament. They did announce, like you mentioned a little bit earlier, that there's going to be a playable demo at E3, which is the 13th.
Right.
Next week, the 13th to the 15th. And then they also announced that they're going to be doing this with the showcase as well, too, on the 13th. So you'll be able to see this as a part of the Nintendo Treehouse, as well as they announced, which I think this is the reason why they did this, is because it seems like they're really focusing on this game possibly being a big game in the fighting industry, like an esport game.
Yeah.
And that's they're going to have an invitational tournament at E3.
And I don't know if you follow competitive Pokemon. It is already in the competitive Pokemon scene.
Okay.
So a lot of people acknowledged this is something solid. And, I play it every now and then, and, I got my girlfriend actually playing it, and it doesn't feel where I've got to memorize all these combos to get really good, but it's something easy that somebody can pick up like Smash.
Right.
And still hold a decent chance against somebody that's really good at it.
Yeah, no, I played it a little bit here. Like I said, I got it for my son for Christmas, and he likes it. We even got the Pikachu controller for it here. He likes using this thing. I don't have the hang of it yet. But he's very good at this game. I'm not very good at all at it, but he's awesome at this game. So he's excited for it to come to the Switch. So as long as he's excited, I'm good. So definitely look forward to that, though, this game coming out. Again, I don't know if I feel that's going to be a big esports game. Like, I know they're trying to say the ARMS could possibly be, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But what do you think about it being an esports
I don't
game?
think it'll hit esport level, but once again, Pokemon on its own kind of has its own standalone esport league. Whether it's got the TCG league, it's got the video game league, and they also do have the Pokken tournament going on at that stuff too now. So it's within its own community, and Pokemon kind of stands on its own and has its own prizes and age tiers that's appropriate. So I feel like that is one thing that you don't see as well done in other competitive esports is we've got kids that are 12 years old playing with 12-year-olds, and you don't have the 25-year-olds playing with 25, so they've kind of figured out adults play with adults, kids play with kids, and young kids play with young kids. So,
Right. So moving along, we know about that. The next thing they kind of discuss is they showed a couple of kids, the gentleman that brought the two presents to the two kids in little square boxes. I saw those square boxes. I was like, that's not a Switch box. It looks like a box like this.
Yep.
So they opened that up. I also started playing it, and then they end up going to a cutscene where they showed these two kids playing Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
That was my biggest disappointment, I think.
And really quick, let's run down what you're getting. You're getting a couple new scenarios, a couple new adventures with this game that you didn't get in the first one. You're also getting some new Pokemon that they did not include in the original one.
And, that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, are we going to get new Mega Forms? Are we going to get new Alolan forms of... Because they also did mention Gen 2's coming with Gold and Silver, which was exciting.
Yeah.
But are we getting new Alolan forms, possibly? Or are we just going to get some new Pokemon that weren't in the region yet?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So we're going to get a couple of Pokemon that are in the data for this. They just haven't been officially released to the public.
What do you think about this whole this Pokemon, this form?
As far as
And Sun and Moon. the different Pokemon they have in this one.
The Alolan forms?
Alolan, yeah. Sorry.
It was a nice change. Pokemon's starting to get older, and so you've got to begin to take chances and still stay true to yourself, but not reinvent the wheel. And I mean, we've got a trash can Pokemon. We have got keys. We've seen it all. I mean, they're not afraid to touch Pokemon, but at the same time, they can still reinvent and re-fun our old favorites.
Right.
The one thing that I guess out of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I kind of hope they keep those titles. I was hoping it could have been like Maximum Sun and Maximum Moon, and because when I heard Ultra, I just got this 90s flashback to me, and I'm like, you know what? That's what they were trying to do with this, is re-invite everyone back, because they were celebrating an anniversary year, and this did re-level the playing field. Everyone could play it up casually and fall back to those good old days of 1996, 97, when you were picking up your copy of Red and Blue for the first time. I don't know if you picked it up back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I mean, that's one of the first games that really stands out in my head, beating to completion, and then beating to completion by my own, and then speedrunning it over and over again.
Yeah.
I probably beat Mario 3. I beat some other stuff. It doesn't stand out as much as beating that first RPG game.
Right.
I mean,
it's like beating Zelda or something. It's
yeah. You remember that first Zelda you beat?
Yeah, and I'm not familiar with the next day. Then they moved along and they announced Pokemon Gold and Silver, which were original. Came out in 1999 for the Game Boy Color. They're going to be released in the Virtual Console on the same day that Pokken Tournament DX is coming out for the Switch, and that's September 22nd. You seemed a little more hyped about this. I never played Gold or Silver, unfortunately. I just never did. I didn't have Game Boy Color.
You need to pick them up.
Yeah, and when I saw that, I think I might pick up one of them for the Switch or for the 3DS.
The only question that came to my mind after I'm like Gold, Silver coming to that date was, where's Pokemon Platinum? Why did you not give me Platinum? I mean, because they released Red, Blue, and Yellow.
Yep.
Gold and Silver are hands down argued to be possibly some of the best, if not the best, Pokemon games in the whole generations.
Oh, okay.
I'd say those are, once again, some of my favorites. I remember those were one of the first games I pre-ordered. I pre-ordered at Walmart. I remember going there that day, picking them up. They came out. Walmart got them a day early, I remember, and they started stocking them. And they're like, you can pick up your game. We're like, it doesn't come out till tomorrow. It's fine. So clearly that was a whole nother day with Nintendo as well. And
right.
I don't remember. Do you remember your first pre-order game?
Oh, my goodness, no. I can't tell you. I have no idea.
Yeah. And, I mean, pre-orders were something new even back then.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they knew they had something big on their hands, and Pokemon Gold and Silver was that thing everyone played and you had when you were in 5th grade.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, I feel like everybody is disappointed online. I think because they were wanting Nintendo to move along so quick. There's so much coming out this season. Still with Mario, Splatoon, ARMS, and so forth. And plus, they're going to talk more about E3. People wanted a dedicated Pokemon game to the Switch already. But I still think it's a good...
I think it was good to not. I mean, give us something to look forward to next year.
Yeah.
If at E3 they go, a big new Pokemon adventure coming to Nintendo Switch 2018.
That's okay.
I'd be happy. I'd be ecstatic, and I'd still be happier than I am with Kingdom Hearts 3. Just give me a year, people. Kingdom Hearts 3, give me a year.
And I feel the same way about Smash Brothers. If they said 2018, I don't want a deluxe. That's another thing too. Is I understand the whole deluxe Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Pokken Tournament Deluxe. I don't want a Smash Brothers Deluxe. I want because they kind of did the same. They kind of gave this the Mario Kart treatment. They gave it a couple new characters, some new modes or whatnot. But it's the same thing. The same guts as Mario Kart 8. I don't want Smash Brothers Wii U version on my Switch. Really, I mean, yeah, it'd be cool, but I don't really want a deluxe version. I'll wait until they give me a brand new Smash Brothers Switch game.
And if you give me too much of the big stuff right away, what am I going to look forward to down the road?
Right, that's just too much. It's too much overhaul. So I'm glad they waited.
Yeah. So I mean, I hope they give us some teasers, really broad titles, really broad year frames, but still give us those set dates.
That's all I had for Pokemon.
I'm interested to see at the Treehouse Live that they did say they were going to talk more about Pokemon.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we're going to get something more there. Pokemon Go news because I feel like once again weather is
That
getting
surprised
nicer.
me. They didn't have it. I mean, I
Yeah.
thought for sure they're going to offer some more new events or something. So
I'm trying to think if there was anything else. So I'm surprised. I'm waiting to see what the one thing was. I don't want this sequel because every Pokemon game releases that follow-up one,
Right.
and normally you have to wait a year or two. You have to wait 2 years, and this just felt too rushed. I would have been ecstatic if they would have given me Pokemon Z.
why couldn't they just given what? I mean, we need to move on, but why couldn't they have just like dropped DLC for Sun and Moon?
I think Nintendo, as far as Pokemon, wants to give you everything up front.
They made a lot of money off these two games, though. That's the thing is all Pokemon games sell. So for me, it's a no-brainer, and this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
These two games sold like hotcakes. They're really like bring out new ones with new adventures and stuff, and they're going to sell again.
Yeah, and I mean, I just don't think, unfortunately, DLC would work as well in like a Pokemon or an RPG setting.
Yeah.
So
Well, they're
yeah,
trying it with Zelda, with Breath of the Wild. So
and so we'll see what happens there. And I mean, I think in open world adventure games,
sure.
more so, and in Pokemon doesn't feel too open world. It feels go here, then here, then here. It has a pattern, and then you get that open world feel at the end.
Right. So let's kind of wrap it up on the Pokemon thing. Is the Direct again? I wanted to see it. I watched it yesterday. I was for me, I'm not as hyped because I'm not as big a Pokemon player. But I did respect it. I understood what they were trying to get across. I know there's a lot of people disappointed, but just hold on because I guarantee you the Switch is not even 6 months old yet.
It's a baby.
It's a baby steps, and we're gonna get there. So
I was content with everything. Big things are coming.
right.